everybody, Happy New Year to you, by the way. This is Creative Visions TV. I'm your host, Karen Dahlman, and you guys all know Rodney, the Ouija Whisperer.
Happy New Year.
So 2020, we just stepped into it. What does that bring to mind to you when you think of that number?
Interestingly enough, if you've been around at all, you've been seeing all these memes about 2020, and the one that caught my eye was 2020 hindsight. And the reason it caught my eye is that, of course, you don't want to repeat the past. You want it. You're
Sometimes you do if it's really good. Good stuff, you know.
My point is, I like to think that we could have 2020 foresight. I like to think that we could create our future, create what we want for our future with total clarity of intention or clarity of thought, clarity of vision.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. 2020, I think of vision. So I think of eyesight. I think of, and you said hindsight, which is really interesting. I hadn't thought about it looking back. We always say that. That's like a saying we say.
Right.
But I think of having 2020. I immediately think of having a clarity, like you said, clarity, a vision, a clear picture. Because 2020 is like the perfect eyesight, isn't it? Or the eyesight that people strive to have when they get fitted for glasses, usually.
Sure.
So I also think of clarity and the word clear, clarity, clear, as clair senses. So I'm seeing 2020 of a year of us to seek clarity for ourselves within our lives, in the world, but also to begin to develop and open up to more of our clear thinking, clear senses, clairaudience, clear knowing, clear sentience, clairvoyance, all these different clair senses we have. There's like 7 or 8 of them. There's quite a few clair senses, but it allows us to open up to the clarity to even understand and see more of the world around us, which includes the unseen, what we call the unseen dimensions.
I like it.
Yeah, but I think it's interesting that we're at that year now where we can really kind of use it and like you said, like memes, or really think about what that means to us, because we use 2020 a lot of times just in our normal ways of speaking to each other.
Did you see that you shouldn't write the date as like 1/1/20 because
Why?
because we're in that century, right? So when it's the year 21, then we can write 21. But it's the first part of like 2019. So now if you write 20, they don't know if you meant 2015 or 2018 or 2020.
I don't know. Because we're in the 21st century. Is that what you're talking about?
No, because the first part of that is 20.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to write 2020 so people know it's 2020, not 20.
Not 1920 or something?
Or no, not 2018. You just forgot to write the 18 on the back of the 20.
Oh, I see what you're saying, because we're in that 21st century that everything starts with 20. Okay, got it. Thank you, Rodney.
See how
we write checks, so think about this, you guys.
Yes.
If you still write checks. I just wrote a check the other day. It's weird. Who writes checks?
I'm expecting
anymore?
a check in the mail myself.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so you'll have a date on it for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So anyway, you guys, let's step forward this year. Let's make this all of our goal here. Step forward in a lot of clarity, understanding, clear vision, and also opening up our senses so we can experience and explore more of the world around us. You're going to do that too?
Yes.
He does it with the board, you guys, don't you?
I don't know.
You don't think you do? You don't think you open up when you do this to your senses?
I still don't know. I wish I knew more of what to think about what is happening. What I do know is, and as always, the message is what I'm here for and what I do this for and what I seek. And I'm just going to keep along that road, I think.
Well, you bring up a good point. I think a lot of people get caught up in, does this really work? Are they pushing it? Like, we don't have better things to do. I sure do. I know you do too. Or is this the ideomotor, or what is it? It's like, you know what? I can only tell you what I think it is. Do we really know? Probably not. I really do believe I'm speaking to sentient beings in another dimension. I also do feel like sometimes I speak to my higher self. So therefore I talk to my inner self, my greater self, and yours as well. And I do think we also speak to the animals or angels. So I think it's sentience that we're in conversation with. But does that matter? What really matters, and you brought up a good point, is the message. It's like, don't get fixated on this here we're using the glass board, which we haven't used in a while. It's about 3 years old now, and they call it the Universal All That Is board. That's what they named it, the guides. But anyway, don't get focused on the board. Don't get focused on the tool. It's truly us working together, being able to bring in whatever these messages, what they are when they come through. It's not like this is doing it for us. This is just a tool. It's somewhere we put our hands and the messages filter through. So you guys out there, a lot of you guys use tarot, you use oracle cards, you use ruins, you use a lot of different things you guys tell me about. You just use your body as the tool. Your own senses, we're talking about your clairsenses you use. It doesn't mean that these tools are doing the work. You're the operator of these tools, and so you are the one doing the work. You're the one that's really retrieving the messages or bringing them in or channeling them, if you will.
Yeah, you're never going to pound a nail with a hammer if you don't pick up the hammer.
So the tools help you get to somewhere, but it's really your ingenuity behind it that builds the house, not the hammer.
Right.
Okay. So a lot of you guys write to me and still ask me those questions, and I know the other thing is people are struggling with getting it to work. And so really, if you could not focus so much on the tool, but focus more on yourself to get it to work, meaning the belief behind it, feeling good about using it. The fears can get in the way sometimes, you guys. That will block you.
I got to be honest.
I hope you're always honest.
I know, but when I say I have to be honest, I mean I have to tell you what I'm feeling at this moment, and that is hammers scare me just because I fear entities coming through the hammer and possessing me.
Okay.
It's
scary, bad hammers.
Yeah. You have to pick. I try to say a prayer. I try to have crystals around me when I'm using hammers, because I've hit my thumb before with a hammer.
So was it?
And it wasn't me. It was possessed.
Okay. See how this goes, guys?
It's frustrating, man.
So
hammers.
You got to keep us locked up in a toolbox. If not, it's like opening Pandora's box.
Oh no! And every time you open the toolbox, you have to worry that I don't know. It's like a genie. I don't know. It scares me.
But this doesn't.
You see my point, right? That the board isn't anything but wood
or glass.
In this case, than a hammer is, and a hunk of metal on the end of it. It's just a tool, guys.
Yeah, it's
just
a tool. And people use tools, and they can choose how they want to use them. And so some people do damage with hammers, like you said, to your thumb, or people do stupid things with hammers, or they may not know how to operate it well. But it's not the hammer that does it by itself. It's you. So think about that too. That helps you to get this tool to work better too, especially if you really want this tool to work for you. Think along those lines. Don't give your power over to this tool. It's the board. It doesn't matter what board you use. It doesn't matter if it's glass, like we're going to use in a moment here. It doesn't matter if it's wood or cardboard, or you make it or you buy it. What matters is you. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about even trying or attempting to use this tool? And again, our fears get the best of us and hold us back. But it does take time. I'm going to tell you again and again and again and again and again. I say this all the time. It does take time. Different time for different people. You're pretty quick at it though, right?
I heard it, 5 years. I heard it.
But I know it took 5 years to learn it. It took you a few sessions to learn it. I said you were quick at learning it.
I heard an interesting analogy, and it said, speaking of the hammer, it just reminded me of it. The same hammer that...
Hammer time.
The same hammer that breaks the glass,
yeah.
Uses glass, forges the iron.
Oh yeah.
Right. I thought that's an interesting analogy.
That's right.
So...
You can, like I said, cause havoc with a hammer, hurt yourself, but if you don't use it correctly, or you can, build incredible things.
Incorrect.
Yeah. Same with this is, this thing is always going to be just give you a permission, if you will, permission slip is what I call it, to reach into the unseen dimensions. It's just the way I like to do it. It's the way I've been doing it since I was very young. And so for me, it's a very easy tool to use, and that's why I'm here to show you that this can be an enjoyable tool, and you can really learn a lot about the beyond. Learn a lot that's beyond ourselves in the unseen dimensions, which is what I use it for, to explore. But it's not the tool. Again, it's not the tool. So, did we explain that enough?
Did we? Yeah, I think we did.
Do we beat the hammer into the glass?
Yeah.
Don't break my glass. Okay, so you guys, this is from 2016.
Christmas.
That's right. Rodney had this one made. He commissioned an artist. Her last name is Schaefer. Anyway, all showing you a picture of it right now on the screen. And it was all etched. But anyway, we did a whole show on this. You can go back through I don't know, we have 210 videos or something, I don't know. Quite a few videos. Go back and look for the one where we talk about this board, we show it to you. But we're gonna use it because we haven't used it in a while, and I thought it would just be fun to get it out and give it a whirl, see what happens. So let's do that. We already sat down and we did our breathing exercise, and we do a prayer, and you can go back to other videos and watch that if you haven't seen us do that before. And then I always like to audio record it, although I am recording it here obviously on camera for YouTube, but I like to keep these also separate on all the sessions we have. I can go back through them and use them when I write my books. So, all right, so today we're recording this is January 4th, 2020, and this is, by the way, this is our first time using the board in the new year, which is kind of cool. Last time we used it was right before Christmas. And so this is the first time in the new year. So here we are, and we're going to start recording now. All right, you ready, Rodney? I got to get used to writing 2020, guys. And cheers to you and the new year and our clarity. Cheers to you.
Oh.
Okay. So the glass, it has a stickiness to it, I should say, right? Does it feel kind of...
Yeah, it feels heavy. It's like
Yeah, it's weird.
sluggish.
So when we put these little pads on the bottom, it helps somewhat. I didn't want to slide glass on glass, probably would not be a good idea. So we're just going to use two hands to start. It's a little heavier feeling, but I'm telling you guys, anything can move around the board. We just don't want to scratch up the glass. So I always want to use pads when I do this one. Okay, here we go. That's them moving. Here comes the guides. And so today, what we asked them to do, okay, great. This is who I call the moon. They are going to bring in for us, we've already talked about this, they're going to bring in a mystery guest. We haven't had a mystery guest in a while. Okay, great. W. And we're using two hands because, like I said, it's a little sluggish, it seems like, on the glass. E. W. I. L. L. S. H. A. R. E. N, D, I, F, Y, O, U, D, A, S, no, R, E, oh, okay, great.
Look how neat you were. I guess it's going slow enough you don't have to go.
Yeah, it wasn't
It's
going.
not going zoom, 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 zoom.
And so it was a little slower on this because I guess again we haven't used it in a while, but also I think it's because of the lug
Yeah, I think so too.
to the glass. So yeah, interesting when you use these different types of surfaces when you do this kind of work. You'll find certain surfaces will work better than other surfaces. For example, if you make your own board, I highly recommend you shellac it. Give it some kind of bright sealant to it because that'll help be smoother and flow more easily for the planchettes and stuff. So it got going there after a while, didn't it?
Yeah,
So you'll see me using my one hand because I had to keep writing. But yeah, when it's like that, I can kind of write kind of more neatly than all over the place because I'm usually just back and forth. Okay, so here we go. This is our mystery guest that came in. We will share with you the mystery guest. We will share with you the mystery guest with you. They did with you twice.
They did.
Okay. It is not visible, but you always know that it is there. When it is behind you, it will help you on your journey. When in front of you, it will change hot to cool and change cold to freezing cold. It can bring down mountains and savage the sea. Any way you see wind, beware its power to transform. Be the wind if you dare. Did I read that okay? Should I have to read it again?
I would read it again just for continuity.
No, I want to ask them, they did with you twice. I'm just curious if there's a word missing or something. So let me just ask them, there was with you on here twice.
What did it say?
Just, we will share with you, the mystery guest with you. So, why did that come out twice, or was that just a mistake or something? Please let us know. S Y M B O L I C O F T H E C H A N G I N G D I R E C T I O N O F T H E W I N D. That's interesting. Now, you guys, I do this for the words as it's coming, and I could say them, but I don't because it's for training purposes to let you guys know. In order to get your boards to work, you want to let them spell. A lot of people try to start guessing the words, and I could have probably guessed some of those and got it right. Maybe I might have been off, but the thing is, you don't ever learn to get this to spell. I know it takes a lot of patience, but Rodney and I have been very patient when we started working together with this process, and I've been very patient over the years, obviously, doing this. That's why it works so well for me. But I let them spell. So that's another technique to help you learn to use it. Okay. They said, when they put with you in there twice, they said it's symbolic of the changing direction of the wind. Didn't expect that. But I said, that was a mistake. No. Okay, that makes sense. We will share with you the mystery guest, with you. I guess the wind kind of does that, snakes in and out, you don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. So they even gave us like an image.
Yeah.
But through the words and the use of words. So I always like to ask and not just, oh, that doesn't belong here. You always see us ask for clarity. There it is, 2021. You have clear vision of what they're saying. Okay, I'll read it again. We will share with you the mystery guest with you. It is not visible, but you always know that it is there. When it is behind you, it will help you on your journey. When in front of you, it will change hot to cool and change cold to freezing cold. It can bring down mountains and savage the sea. Any way you see, and savage the sea, any way you see wind. Beware its power to transform. Be the wind if you dare.
That's kind of
So maybe you'll have a wonderful windy, and even moments when the wind calms down, a new year, 2020.
I think the key is transform, right?
Yes.
It has, I mean, you see, I mean, that's where mountains lose their height, right? Because they get
Erosion and
yeah.
wind, yeah. And we've had water came as a guest once. Remember that when water came?
Yeah.
To talk about eroding the mountains. But yeah, but wind. Oh yeah, the wind can. I mean, it's so powerful. I mean, even the word savage, the seas, was just beautiful.
Yeah, as strong as the ocean is,
Oh yeah.
it's no match for wind.
Wind, and it's something you can't even see. Isn't that amazing? So we have the power within ourselves to be the wind.
That transformative
element.
Yeah.
So be the wind. I like that. It's
help. I mean, if you put yourself in that position, then it says it'll help you on your journey, right?
That's what behind you. It'll help you. Like
so
you can see
yeah.
a sailboat
So
or something.
if you're behind someone or behind something, it'll make that journey for that individual easier. So does that say even if you don't necessarily you have kids and you stand behind them? I'm just trying to figure out examples where you would be the wind behind somebody.
Oh, you're saying you could be the wind in somebody's sail for somebody's absolutely. You're the wind for other people.
Yeah.
So
instead of constantly saying that'll never work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go for it. Do it. If that's what you think is going to make you joyful.
What sets your sails? What gets you? What floats you? What floats you on the seas? So what is that? That becomes your wind.
What are you going to be that transforms that brings down the mountain? You know what I mean? That whips up the sea. That the change that comes with that.
Yeah.
You know, how are you going to transform?
That can change the temperatures from hot to
cool.
cool.
Look at the hurricanes and tornadoes. That's all wind, right?
I know, that's wind. It's very powerful.
And I guess technically you can see the...
Well, when it stirs up the dust or the silt or
you
something.
can see it, but you still can't see the wind itself.
You can't see the wind. It pulls up stuff for you to see it. But yeah, so I like that when you think about being somebody else's wind, because we are each other's wind. We help each other out, and so that becomes the wind behind somebody's own sails or somebody else's sails, and then you become your own wind for yourself. And the whole idea, I think, what I'm hearing now as well, is that this is a year of transformation. 2020 is a year to have the clear vision and the ability to go after those dreams and transform what it is you need to transform in order to do that, and allow yourself to be a transforming element within your own life, but also for others. There's a lot of change, and wind can change on a dime.
Do you remember the year that it was several years ago when I first started, was that they had their own New Year's resolution?
Oh,
and they said it was clarity, right?
That was that was a resolution they had for me. Do you remember that?
But I think that, and then after every session, after every question, they would say,
that whole year they did this.
They just, are you clear? Is this?
Have you
is the
found
message
clarity
clear?
in this message?
Yeah.
They every time they get a message for us, that's what they did. This is all private. I never shared this with you guys, but that was they had their own goal for the year, and they want to make sure that they knew that I was clear on what they were giving us.
And then I think that's helped us
over
the years.
Yeah, I would say so.
Because they don't have to do that anymore.
No. So we will sit, as we're doing right now, really talk about the question or the message and with our own questions and flesh it out more to get clarity. So we're showing you an example of how we gain clarity from these messages once they come through, and then I like to I'll apply them into my life. I use them all the time. That's why I share them here with you guys, and that's why I have the website I have, and I share different messages they've given, the channel messages or the moon messages, and why I even do this work is to bring forth this inspiration that's really inspired me in my life. I know it's inspired Rodney, which we talk about all the time, and many other people, and you guys have mentioned it inspires you. So that's why I'm here, that's why he's here, that's why we're doing this work, is to bring forth this inspiration, but to also help you find that yourself, that you too can have these connections and communications with this divine energy, whatever you want to call it. I like to call it source wisdom.
Yeah, it's kind of a form of
wind.
Yeah, that's funny.
It is.
Of
powerful wind.
Yeah, overt prayer or overt answers to prayer, or
Well, it's very tangible. We get the tangibility of it, receiving the messages. So again, it's the message, you guys. Don't get caught up in the board. Don't get caught up with this tool somebody's using. These tools aren't bad or evil.
A hammer's evil.
Well, that's what Rodney said. They're evil for him. We got to keep that locked up in that box. but hear the message. That's what's important. This year, when you watch these videos this year and the work that we're doing here and that you're also doing and sharing with me, really hear the message. Worry about that more so than how it's coming through, because it's the beauty of the message that helps inspire us. And that's really what I take from it.
I couldn't agree more.
The message.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys, happy 2020. It's great to be here with you and take this journey alongside you and to be each other's wind. Now get out there and have a windy 2020. And see you guys later. Bye-bye.